Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, How eVolve Electrical Can Help with Manpower Shortages. Thank you for spending some time with us today. This webinar is brought to you by eVolve MEP. My name is Rachel Grillo, and I am a Product Marketing Coordinator for eVolve, and I will be your moderator today. Now, before we get started, I'll go through some webinar housekeeping. We encourage you to take advantage of the fully customizable webinar console by clicking on the icons at the bottom of your screen. You can resize any of these widgets during the presentation. And don't forget to type your questions and comments into the Q&A widget throughout the presentation. We'll take time to answer your questions at the end of today's webinar. So please take a moment to introduce yourself. You can also take the survey at any time during or after the webinar. And this webinar is being recorded for your convenience, so you will receive an email with the recording link for future reference. And you can find eVolve MEP on social media to make meaningful connections, receive special offers, and stay up to date on the newest innovations. Also be sure to visit our website, evolvemep.com, to see how we help improve profitability and visibility for trade contractors by aligning teams on a single platform. Now, I am pleased to introduce today's presenter, Amber Zinky. Amber is a sales engineer at eVolve MEP with years of experience in the industry. We are very proud to have her with us. Thank you for joining us today, Amber. Take it away.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. So again, my name is Amber Zinky. I guess I'll give you a little background about me, even though you can see it right on the screen, all my background, but sales engineer here at eVolve on the electrical side. Background, I have a technical degree in civil engineering, but I worked for an electrical company before this doing prefab detailing and VDC work. So little things I took care of were as-built, line drawings, power drawings, data labeling, conduit drawings, creating Excel extractions, creating families, project setup, project tracking, pretty much anything that they threw at me I took care of. But I also was the RTS coordinator, so I managed that department, was there from the start. So helped create the standards, did the drawings, and was the kind of link between the BIM department and the field. So that's a little background about me, and I'm definitely excited to kind of go into what this topic will be about today. So I'm going to share my screen here. There we go. So what we're going to be talking about today is how eVolve Electrical can help with some of those manpower shortages. So with that being said, we're going to be talking about some manpower shortages. So this can mean a lot of different things depending on what's going on. Let's be honest, this last few years have been a little bit crazy with shortages in every definition. Even when you go to the store, can't find your favorite bread or your pasta because of supplies and all that good stuff. So it's a little crazy the last few years and especially the last few months as well. So with manpower shortages, this could be a lot of different things. And this could be less people that you have within your company. Maybe a lot of people are getting sick. Maybe you've lost a few people when it comes to needing to let go of some people or whatever's going on within your company. But we're wanting to help with that as well to help, be able to do more. And with that being said, maybe you have the same amount of people that you had, even 3 years ago, but now you have a lot more work because things are starting to pick up again. You're getting more jobs, more like maybe complex jobs, and you need to still do more with the amount of people that you have. Or let's say that you have a lot of people that maybe their skill level isn't what you're needing. Maybe you're needing more skilled employees as well. Maybe you're going from AutoCAD to Revit, so you're having that learning curve of trying to figure out how do you handle Revit right now. And again, eVolve can definitely help ease that process of going from AutoCAD to Revit. Or let's say that you have a lot of people coming right from college or the field, so maybe they don't have an extreme knowledge on the electrical side, or maybe they don't have any strong skills when it comes to the computer even. So we can definitely go over some things that will help with that as well. I don't want you to think, with eVolve, you can get rid of everybody and only have one person. We're definitely going to be able to maintain what you have when it comes to the amount of people that you have, but you're able to now do so much more work, which is, again, a huge thing. We're wanting to help your life be easier and help you enjoy your job. Just because, again, I love this industry. I love, drawing. I love the electrical world. So I definitely want everyone to feel the same. And definitely when I started to see eVolve, I kind of fell in love with why I love modeling. So that being said, I'm going to talk about the things that eVolve can help with. These are just 3 kind of big points of it, but it could be a lot of things. So before I kind of get started with listing out some of these, Rachel, would you be able to kind of ask the first poll question? Don't worry, I only have 3 poll questions for everyone, so it won't be anything too crazy. But
yeah, so this first poll question we've got is, have you experienced any shortages of any kind? So we'll give you guys a few seconds to answer this one. I feel like we should have some Jeopardy music.
I know. We'll add that in for all the next webinars as a little music for everyone.
I'll put that as a little side note here.
Yes.
Let me know when you are ready, Amber.
All right.
You ready to see the answers?
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see what we got here.
All right.
Oh my gosh, 100%. Oh, you guys.
Well, I'm glad everyone is in this webinar so we can help with that. So kind of with that being said, I'll now talk about how we can help with those shortages. So these are the big 3 that eVolve helps with when it comes to automation, content, and reliability. So with automation, this means that we're going to help you automate, placing hangers, placing your sleeves, doing spooling, auto cabling, placing your points, work set manager, being able to control those work sets, just because, that can be something, frustrating as well. And then we also have a lot of quick tools, which again will help automate the process of doing your modeling or / drawing. And then what's nice about the automation is it allows you to do a lot more with less time. So if you think about it, think about how much time you've spent placing hangers. That's one thing where, I mean, yes, I loved, putting on my podcast, doing like mindless tasks throughout the day, but with all those mindless tasks, that takes up so much of your week when you could be doing that automated, have that done within matter of minutes, and then be able to do more work. So that's the whole process. Is we're trying to find all the things that you're doing manually and help with that, and by creating an automation or helping you do that not as painfully. So that's one of our big things, is we really want to automate your process. And again, if that's something where if you're still doing things that are manual, please let us know, because I want to hear what you're frustrated about, what you're still doing manually, because that is something that we want to make sure that, you get that little time back, because those are the things that are frustrating throughout the day. And then content. So this could be our family browser. This could be smart bends, controlling data within the Conduit run schedule, the schedules and legends themselves. We do ship with a lot of really great content for you, even when it comes to those schedules and legends. All those little things add up to be very time consuming, even smart bends. So bends in general, native Revit, are not fun to do. They are super time consuming, especially when you have design changes. That's another huge thing that takes up so much time, is having to control your model when there is those design changes. And what's nice too is we do ship with that content, so you're not wasting time doing that content, modeling in the way of, okay, my something is not here, I have to create this family. No, we have a really extensive library of content for you, so you don't have to worry about that. And reliability, this actually means a lot of different things when it comes to how we support you with that. So this could be something in the way of, we give you features that allow you to be reliable, in the way of, our quick bend total, our conduit alignment, having our automation of links, and then even the work set manager. So a lot of these features allow you to be giving you that peace of mind that the work that you are giving is actually extremely reliable, and you're also going to give you that peace of mind that the drawings that you're giving are actually able to be produced, because that's something that you don't want is giving drawings to your field or your shop and something's wrong with them. And then also, on top of the features that we do provide for you to help you be reliable, we're also going to be giving you a lot of things in the way of, on our side, having support, having a whole team for you to be able to ask questions, and also the training aspect of eVolve as well, which allows you to be able to get you that knowledge. So if you're having people who aren't, skilled Revit users or skilled within this industry, you're going to get that reliability of, okay, we have features to help with your standards, help you really generate that. Maybe you have a power user, one power user, and that power user could go and set up all the settings and get you everything that you're needed. So with that being said, let's have our next poll question up here, kind of get a little bit of feel of what you're spending most of your time with. So what takes most of your time? So when I'm saying drawing and detailing, that could be, again, modeling or, detailing, drawing. I know everyone has multiple different definitions of how you want to define that. So that's what I mean by drawing.
Yep, and feel free to click whatever your all's answer is. I'll give you guys just a few more seconds here to get your answers in. All right, what do you think, Amber? You ready?
Yes, let's see them.
Let's go.
Ooh,
50-50.
tie. Yeah.
Nice.
Correcting design changes is very frustrating. Perfect. Very good to know. Also, let's just roll out that last poll question right now as well, just so we can dive into some of the demo of some of the features that will help you. Don't worry, I only had 2 slides for you when it comes to that PowerPoint. We'll get into some actual showing of the features to help with them things. But have you or any of your coworkers felt overwhelmed with how much work is needed? Again, we don't want anyone to feel overwhelmed, but it'll be interesting to see if how many people are feeling overwhelmed right now when it comes to the amount of work, or let's say that you feel like everything's on you as well.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you guys. I'm gonna switch over. Here we go.
All right.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh.
Yes. Okay. Well, we don't want anyone to feel overwhelmed with the amount of work. I mean, sometimes it's a good thing because that means that, you're getting a lot of jobs and you're getting a lot of work, which is awesome. But also, we want to be able to help with some of that frustration, because that is one thing that I don't want is everyone to be frustrated with their jobs. So with that being said, let's help with some of the stuff that's going on with, those correcting design changes and be able to control your data. So I have this kind of little model right here out for you guys. So I'm going to show you some of the features that will help with that stuff. I'll kind of go over some, again, correction of your design changes. I'll show you bends, some quick tools. Let's show you some of your workset manager, conduit alignment, some of those things where when you're having design changes, you're not having to constantly redraw everything, because I feel like that does take up the most time. It would be nice if everything was just a straight run, but let's be honest, within this industry, there's so many design changes, there's so much going on that there's always going to be so much to change and constantly update with your model. So the biggest thing in my mind is our bends, because that's one thing that, thinking back of my time of having to correct drawings or, redo stuff, a lot of it happened to be because of coordination needs, things needing to be changed because, things slightly moved or different trades come in and make it where you can't be there. So I'll show you how we tackle bends. So we have the ability to come here to place our couplings. So I can actually just come here, window select my grouping of conduit, press finish. And then our couplings configuration dialog box will come up. So for our placement mode, we have an entire path, change direction, or a single location. So in this situation, when I'm placing my bends, I'm going to do a single location, press OK, and then you're going to choose where you want your bends to be. So with our bends, it's nice because, you're not having to constantly redo things. I can select my couplings here and swap it out for whatever I'd like. Oh, are you not seeing my screen? Sound question. We're not seeing your screen. Can everyone see my screen? Let me reshare it. Let's make sure everyone can see it. All right, can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, Amber, yep, we can see it.
Yeah, we've got it here.
Oh no, somebody cannot see it.
I think a couple times, sometimes if they X out of it and then go back into the webinar. I know we had a couple issues before on that.
All right, well, if you don't see it and you want to see this stuff, I will reach out to you if you cannot see my screen, and I can do a little bit of a quick recap of this as well for you if you can't see it. Because, again, I want to make sure. Okay, perfect. Yeah. All right, cool. So again, if anyone can't see my screen or anything like that, just again, feel free to answer or ask any questions in there. So again, when it comes to our couplings, I'm going to swap it out and have some offsets. Okay, perfect. Their screen is working now. Okay, so with our bends, you're going to see that it's going to turn translucent. I, again, love the fact that we do have this as well, just because of those design changes. So instead of having to waste time and redrawing everything, it could be something where we convert it and then you can start to modify things. So if there is a design change, unconvert it, swap it out for different bends, unconvert it, delete some bends, anything like that. Being able to really have control of what's going on when it comes to those design changes. So when there is design changes, instead of having to delete everything and constantly redraw those bends, we can just come in here and start to modify our parameters. So if you need to adjust your offset height, we can adjust our offset height here. I can come in here and do a custom angle as well. Or let's say, again, constantly rechanging stuff, or if you just need to play around with it, figure out what's the best for that situation, we can even come in here and doing a roll offset. So I definitely, again, love the fact that not having to constantly redraw things, delete things, because I feel like that's the most painful thing, is spending 8 hours doing something and then having to delete stuff. So just being able to come in here and select some check marks or modify your parameters instead of redoing everything is going to save a lot of time, that's for sure. So our bends are very nice in that way. And I'll show you too. Unconvert it, let's say major design change, and I need to just go to some saddles. Let's do some 4-point saddles, because I love 4-point saddles in eVolve, not in real life. So again, not having to worry about redrawing everything. That could be something where, that would have taken a very, good amount of time to redraw everything and redo things. So being able to just throw those in is huge in my mind. So again, if there was design changes, let me go into another model and show you some other stuff that you can do. So if there was design changes in this situation where I need to remove some of my in-betweens, go back to being a straight run, I can use my quick tools. So these are some of my other favorite ones to be able to modify the existing content that you have within your model, not having to redraw everything, being able to just come in here and delete some stuff. So it's something where you're not having to worry about having to redraw everything and all that stuff. And what's nice too about our content, you see this little asterisk right here, that's telling you if you hold down Shift and have your command, you're able to do something a little bit different. So anytime you see an asterisk by any of our features, I would definitely suggest hovering over it and seeing what you can do on top of it. Like in this situation with the remove elements, instead of having to do individual pieces of your run, you can window select a grouping of your run. So you can just quickly come in here and remove your in-betweens. So that's definitely nice in that way too. You're going to see that with our MEP Rotate. You're going to see that with our optimizing our runs, as well as, reset your bends. So a lot of times it's something where it'll allow you to be able to window select your elements in that way, which is nice. But with cabling, it's something where you're able to also change the direction as well. So anytime you see a little asterisk, I definitely suggest looking at what else you can do with it, because it's nice to be able to have that option as well. So another thing that I definitely enjoy is being able to modify some of your elements also. So let's actually throw in some hangers in here so we can really play around with everything. Because with hangers, it's nice to be able to come in here and modify that as well. Because again, I'm going to say it over and over, but everyone said that, the most time-consuming thing is adjusting your model. Being able to have the ability to play around with it and not have to waste so much time redrawing everything is huge. Another thing too is the data control. So that can mean a lot of things as well, but I feel like being able to control your Conduit run is huge in my mind as well, because it is frustrating to have to constantly enter in information. Same with schedules. I feel like schedules are very frustrating for a lot of people as well, because native Revit schedules are not fun to have to play around with and figure out what kind of different information you want to pull. The fact that we do supply you with schedules already set up is a huge benefit for everyone. Again, you can modify them. They are, native Revit schedules. So if you want to modify any of the schedules, you have the ability to do so. But it's nice to be able to, again, not have to worry about that struggle of controlling your data. So let's go in here and look at our section here. So one thing I like about some of our other features when it comes to controlling our data and also being able to adjust for coordination is with our align conduit. I love this feature so much for multiple different reasons, because we have elevation alignment and we also have our run spacing. So these two things can be huge when there are design changes, or someone calls you up and says, instead of our align to the top, you actually need to align everything to the bottom. Instead of having to go in there and figure out everything, it's nice to be able to just come in here and adjust it that way. Or let's say you're spacing something where it's slightly off, or having to double check everything. And this is another thing when I'm talking about with that reliability and being, held accountable for the fact that, the drawing that you're producing, especially for your prefabrication, that your spacing of your conduit is really important. So instead of having to kind of go in here and figure out by dimensioning all of your conduit and all that stuff, it's something where we can just double check, or also just make sure everything is good to go. So when it comes to your spacing of your conduit, we have edge to edge spacing, we have equal spacing, and then dynamic spacing. If anyone knows me, I love the dynamic spacing one so much, because I love the fact that we have this spacing configuration. This is huge in my mind, because I definitely had something like this by my desk when it comes to figuring out the spacing of your conduit, and also, again, just being able to look over things, double check everything. One thing I like is the fact that you can modify these numbers. And another thing that I was talking about before, with if you have some not so experienced people within your company, this is something where anytime you see project in any of these settings, this means that these are going to be saved to your Revit file. Somebody who knows what's all going on can come in here, make sure all of your settings are set up especially any of the project settings. And then anybody who just goes into the model, they can do what they need to do, and that's that. So it's something where also you're gonna get that peace of mind that all the spacing is going to be correct, because there's no way that it's going to be incorrect if they're following these steps and using these features. So how to actually do this, it's just very simple. Let's first mess up this run. Again, it's kind of fun to mess it up just because you know it's going to be good to go. Here we go. So now we'll go back there and fix it. So select your stationary conduit, then window select the other conduits that you want to be adjusted, and press finish. And again, this is nice for when it comes to the beginning of your process of modeling. One thing I definitely suggest is throwing in kind of your path that you're wanting to do, your ideal path when it comes to not thinking about coordination. Throw in your conduits and then go back, place in your bends, make sure your spacing is good to go. There's a whole process that you can do then, and it's completely pretty much automated when it comes to using these features. And kind of looking at eVolve as a whole, you're going to see within the ribbon here all the different features. So on top of automation and be able to control data, you're going to see we have our prefabrication, our kitting, our conduit, our sleeves, our supports, raceways, cabling, layout points, quick tools, utilities, and integrations. And then also we have a lot of resources as well. So this is something that settings, like I was talking about, you could have somebody who really knows what's going on when it comes to those power users, come in here, make sure all your settings are good to go, even our bend settings. So there's a lot of things that you can have put in here to make sure everything is 100% good to go, and the drawings that you're producing are going to be spot on, because let's be honest, that's one thing that you don't want is the field to call you up and say this drawing is terrible, there's so many things wrong with it, blah blah blah, you're gonna have to redo everything, or you cause a lot of money in fixes. So it's nice to be able to, again, have that peace of mind when you're producing those drawings, when you're creating those spool drawings, when you're tagging everything, when you're dimensioning out everything, you're not wasting your time, because everything is good to go. Because again, those corrections of those design changes, if somebody already detailed out your drawing, so let's say come into your spool and they already spent the time to model everything and detail everything out, let's say they come in here and dimension out and tag everything, but then finds out that you have to change everything, that's gonna do that domino effect of causing everyone so much time. Where when you're producing these drawings, if you're following these features, you're going to have that peace of mind that when you get to that step of prefabrication, when you're producing those drawings, everything is going to be ready to go. So you're not going to have to waste time to redraw everything and redo things and all that stuff. So it's definitely nice to be able to have that peace of mind of not worrying about that. So another thing too with that data control, I'll show you some of our schedules and also show you some of our conduit run schedule as well. But with schedules, I feel like that's one thing that is very time consuming for everybody, is having to create a bunch of schedules and maintain schedules as well. With eVolve, we do ship with a good amount of schedules. Definitely my favorite are our bend schedules and also all of our legends as well. Not having to create these are definitely nice. Not having to worry about that, it's all done for you, is again a huge time saver, especially our build material. I really enjoy the fact that we have our build material for you all set up, and then when you're creating those spools, when they start to break it up based on your spool and get more of a condensed down build material for that drawing is also a huge time saver, because thinking about how much time you're going to have to worry about producing all these different views when it comes to the views and schedules, that could be something that in the beginning of the project you're wasting so much time doing, where now you don't even have to worry about that. That could be something that you do as you go on finishing that part of your drawing. So again, lots of time saving with this, not having to worry about that. But again, you're going to see lots of different schedules here, even our equipment schedules. I, again, like being able to see how this is all set up and be able to also modify it if you need to. That's one thing that is nice too about, controlling the data is with eVolve, it's fully customizable to you. It's not something that you have to change all of your standards to conform to eVolve standards. It's really being able to modify what you have already, and it's good to go from there. All right, I see a question here. Here's one for you. Okay, so their question is, everything looks perfect. After some time goes by, if we look at the sheet again to republish it, it now has a bunch of section views and pages that we have to hide and clean up. Not sure what we're doing wrong. So when it comes to your spool joins, so when you're starting to come in here and there's a bunch of different stuff within here that you want to hide, that could be something that you can clean up when it comes to your view template. If there's things that you're able to hide that way, you could also make sure that you have your different work set manager. So if you have some work sets applied to it, then you can use those templates to hide those unneeded things within there. That could be something that would help with that. Kind of, again, depends on how it is looking. Definitely something I would love to help you with in that way as well, being able to clean up those drawings. But my kind of off the top of my head solution would be definitely maybe come in here, make sure everything's applied to the right work set, modify your template, make sure everything that you do want within there is showing, making sure that way is good to go for that. Just because our spool is definitely nice to be able to, you're going to be defining what you want within that spool. So all the elements that you want to show within your spool are going to be already predefined. So I think I'll go into my colorful spool drawing here and show you that drawing I was just showing you with that spool, it's all going to be right here. So those are the elements that you want to show. So if it's something that you want to modify that spool, so if there's some little design changes or things that have changed and you want to modify it, we allow you to be able to use the modify spool. So you can easily add, remove, swap elements from existing spools. So that's definitely nice to be able to modify spools, just because, let's be honest, native Revit assemblies are not really fun to be able to modify, but how we tackle everything, it's definitely nice. Yes, so for duck bank, maybe we can cover that in a different webinar as well. That'd be definitely fun to kind of show you what's coming with duck banks. So I can definitely show you that, or I can create a video on some duck banks as well, just because there's a lot of exciting things to come with duck banks. We do have duck banks. I can show you our family browser. So right now, this is our duck bank. So we have a template. I like how this is set up. And again, this is a family browser, which is nice to be able to quickly come in here and search for things, not have to waste time in looking through all of your different folders to find everything. It's definitely nice to be able to come in here and quickly search your content. But for duck banks themselves, coming over here, and I will place it over here and show you what a duck bank looks like right now. But like I said, I'll definitely show kind of a cool video on some of the duck bank stuff that is to come. But that's what's nice, is we do ship with well over 400 parts and pieces for our family browser. So pretty much everything you would need, it's all going to be in here. And it's nice because you can start to sort things. Grid view or card view, totally depends on your brain. I actually like with the grid view, you can come in here and drag up your categories so you can easily see everything. You can also come in here and filter and sort things as well. So I definitely like that. A lot of our dialog boxes, you're able to sort and filter everything. So again, you're not wasting time searching for everything. There's just so many little things that we have in place to help speed up the process, even when it comes to seeing the content that we do give you, which is definitely nice because you know, those little things, even if it is matter of seconds that are wasting, those are seconds that you could be putting into something else. Because every second counts, you know, every minute counts in your day. You could be doing so much more, not searching for the families that you're trying to find. It's something where you could, you know, search within here, you could filter everything out. So again, huge time saver how we have this set up. There's a lot of thought put in here. And again, maybe you want to create different libraries, or you know, you want to modify these families, because what's nice too about our families is you can fully customize our families, which is a huge difference in some softwares. I like the fact that you can come in here and modify them. Like I was saying before with those schedules, is you're able to really get it to be exactly what you need for your workflow, because we are totally understandable when it comes to the fact that every company does things a little bit different. Maybe even looking at the spool here, maybe you dimension things a little bit differently, or you have different schedules or different information that you need to give. Something that you can come in here and really get specific on what you're wanting. Even looking at all the different features, we provide you so many different features that allow you for growth. So if you have some, again, not so experienced people coming in here, maybe they want to start off with just those quick tools, and then they can graduate to being able to modify your conduit, and then graduate to creating those spools and being able to really become power users when it comes to Revit, because this will help you also give you those baby steps of trying to figure out everything within Revit itself, because Revit in itself is a very, you know, complex software, and it has a lot of fun things that you can do. But this just, again, keeps you in one little bubble of figuring out, you know, you can go to one tab, everything you possibly want is right within there. Another thing that is a huge time saver too are, you know, your shortcuts or your key. We can do that as well within even the family browser. If you want to come in here and see, we have our hotkeys. You can actually start to assign hotkeys to elements as well. Similar enough, we have that in some of our shortcuts. We have lots of different things to, again, speed up that time, not have to worry about, you know, controlling your data, wasting your time modeling, wasting your time doing all this stuff that just, again, takes so much time. Again, maybe just, you know, being able to quickly draw in your conduit, being able to, again, be able to draw everything, not wait around for everything, being able to, let's just say I'm going to quickly draw this in here. And then maybe after drawing it in, I want to double check my total degree of bends. Something where you're not having to waste time in thinking, okay, pull out my calculator or just do mental math on all of my degree of bends. Something that you can just quickly come in here, select it, and go from there. It just, again, there's some things that help with the mindless tasks, but it also helps you with some of those, you know, adding. I know it's something super little when it comes to adding, but it's nice to, again, not have to worry about, did I do that right? Oh, let me quick do that. Or somebody's talking to you and then you're like, oh, I have to go back and redo that. No, it's something that's all going to be right here for you. Even that run length, having that automatically pop up right here for you is huge in my mind. That being able to have those links, again, not having to do your measure between references or, you know, coming here and dimensioning things. Those little things add up definitely. So with that being said, is there any questions that anyone has? If not, I will also talk about kind of the data control too. I know this is eVolve Electrical, but I would definitely love to talk about materials, because I know one of those poll questions was talking about having to maintain the data that is within your model. So let's say that people are having struggles in the way of maintaining, you know, your schedules and all of your families. So instead of having to worry about that, we do have a separate kind of software that goes on top of eVolve Electrical called Materials. Definitely would love to show everyone that as well. If anyone wants, you know, a demo or anything like that, we could definitely do that offline. But my favorite example is these two situations. We actually provide you with these two separate families when it comes to worrying about kind of the detail level that you would like. You know, let's say we have more of a generic receptacle here that you can pump in a lot of data versus a very detailed family as well. Because let's say that you're needing to have this detail component because you're worrying about the material that is being produced, those build materials and all that, instead of having to worry about that part of your job of having to, again, like I said, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like everything's on you, this part of it is definitely something I remember, like, okay, all those schedules, everything that you're doing is to be able to produce those build materials to actually, again, build it. So we have our materials right here, and this could be something where instead of having to worry about, again, all the data that lives within your model, you can actually just have a very simple description of your element and go from there. So instead of having to worry about fixing all of your different schedules and all that stuff, we actually have the ability to push up all that information into a feature called eVolve Materials. And then you're going to see within our Revit sync here, you're able to come in here. Again, this is a very quick description of what materials is, but kind of give you, again, that little tool to help you with that controlling of your data. So this could be something that instead of having that receptacle list out every single part and piece of it, you could have a very generic description of that element. And then you can start to link in every part and piece and very get specific on what is needed for that element itself. You can actually come in here and have your manufacturer and your catalog number. So you're going to be able to pump in a lot more data within there, so you're not having to worry about that all being in Revit. And one thing I like about this as well, it's not on the detailer or model or, again, whatever your title is within the BIM department or Revit side of it. It's not all on us. So it's something where then now it's that responsibility is on the entire company as a whole when it comes to controlling this information and being able to, again, be reliable of, okay, where is everything at? You're going to see when things are last sunk. You're going to be able to really get that peace of mind also of knowing, okay, I'm being held responsible for all this information being the latest and the greatest, but also I'm not responsible for making sure this is exactly what's needed. One thing I would definitely love about this as well is it's something that you're not having to worry about modeling every single thing, doing every single little thing to get that build of material. It could be something that you say, circle it out and say, use materials to order this elements. This is how many receptacles you have, and then they can go from there. So that's a little bit of quick description about materials. Again, giving you lots of different resources on controlling your data and helping you not have to worry about so much. So again, eVolve as a whole, we provide a lot of different resources for you to help make your life a lot easier. So with that being said, is there any questions? I know I kind of threw a lot at everyone when it comes to the different features, a lot of different resources for you. But again, I just want everyone to feel not alone in the fact that, maybe you are feeling overwhelmed with what's going on, but that's okay because, everyone's a little bit overwhelmed right now with what's all going on and the amount of work that's going on. So just trying to give you some features that will help with that. And just, again, I want everyone to be happy and love their job because I love this industry. So any questions? And again, if you need some other questions later on, let's say after you process everything and you want to be able to contact me, feel free to email me, connect with me on LinkedIn. Definitely here to help with everybody.
You did such a good job answering all the questions in your presentation. I wonder if you've got them all. Guys, if you have any other questions, this is the perfect time to just enter them in that little widget there and ask away.
Yes. If not, we'll give you a few minutes to type those up if you have, because I know typing up all those questions can be a little bit of a daunting task to try to explain it in words. So again, if you have questions, would rather talk to me one-on-one, definitely let me know. But if not, you get 15 minutes back to your day. But we'll definitely wait a few minutes to see. But again, there's my information if you need to email me or connect with me on LinkedIn. Because again, here to help, and I want to help with anything that is needed. Because we do also kind of throw that out. I do Fun Feature Fridays on different features within eVolve. So definitely keep track on LinkedIn as well or YouTube. be able to see some of those features, dive a little bit deeper into the things that I did not cover, because you're going to see we have lots of fun features within here, and it would take me a good amount of time to go through everything.
Awesome. Amber, thank you so much for that presentation. That was really cool. I really love watching the bends. There's just something so satisfying about that.
Oh, yeah.
And anybody, if you guys have any other questions, maybe you think of something later that it's just not coming up to you right now, but you're like, oh my gosh, I need to ask Amber that. Her email address is right here on this page, amber.zinky@evolvemep.com. Just reach out to us. We are so happy to help. Other than that, thank you guys so much for your participation and joining our webinar this afternoon. It's not morning. It's afternoon now. We appreciate you spending your time with us, and we trust it was meaningful and impactful for you and your business. And we look forward to seeing you guys on a future eVolve webinar. Thanks again, and have a great rest of your day.